I'm Iris Miller. I'm a certified rehabilitation counselor and a proud mom of 2 children, one of whom has quadriplegic cerebral palsy and is nonverbal.
And I'm Alma Schneider, a licensed clinical social worker and the proud mom of 4 children, one of whom has Prader-Willi syndrome.
In this podcast, we discuss the uncensored truth about raising kids with disabilities.
Prepare to laugh, cry, and hopefully learn something new. This is Two Moms, No Fluff.
Hello, everybody. We're Two Moms, No Fluff. Alma Schneider is here with you, and I am Iris Miller. And we are very happy that you're joining us today. This is an episode that we hope you'll share with others in your life, and hopefully it would help benefit your child to make them aware of this next topic. Alma, do you want to share the topic?
Yes. Hello, everyone. This is a topic that is very relevant throughout the year, and that is gift giving. What kinds of gifts should we be gifting to our loved ones who have a disability? So this might not be something that you ever really thought about or thought that was important, but there are a lot of opportunities throughout the year to give gifts. There are the holidays in December, whether you celebrate Hanukkah or Christmas or Kwanzaa or anything else. And then there are birthdays, there are anniversaries, there are so many different opportunities, graduations. So we want to make sure that people are spending their money appropriately and efficiently and giving meaningful gifts that will not clutter up someone's house with no use, and that others don't waste their money on us when we're not going to be able to use the gifts. So this is all to educate.
Yes, and I think the early years with Karen, when she was, a young baby and a toddler and a young child, there was so much grief for me going through the toys aisle in Target and seeing all of those developmentally appropriate toys that she couldn't even manipulate, hold, or touch. Even baby toys were beyond our reach because she couldn't use her hands to enjoy them. So I know that even for the parents, finding the things that actually work for a certain child with a certain disability can be a true challenge. So gift giving for people that are not that strongly related to the child is many times a serious challenge. So today I want to kind of unveil a few layers of this and hopefully give people some ideas in ways that they can really participate and instead of maybe causing more frustration and sorrow to the family and the child, to make the gift giving a little bit more seamless and enjoyable for everyone.
Yes. The first thing that comes to mind for me, I'm going to jump many years to the age of 13, where my son had a bar mitzvah. And although this was a little controversial with my friends in the disability community, I made a point to actually, I think my son was 14 when he had his bar mitzvah. But if for those of you who do not know, a bar mitzvah for a Jewish family is to acknowledge that the boy is now a man. And it's, no matter what, at the age of 13, the boy is considered a man and bar mitzvahed, but there's usually a party or some kind of a religious ceremony or both that acknowledges that milestone. So anybody can participate in this, disability or not, and it can be, crafted in different ways to make it meaningful for the family and the child. But typically people give gifts and typically it's money that people give. And a lot of people, put that money away and they use it for investments for the kid or college or all different sorts of things. So with our child, at the age of 14, we opened up a special needs trust that we will be talking about in a future episode. But there are all sorts of conditions for the special needs trust that the family cannot make a certain amount of money to give to the child. It's something that you're going to need to deal with a lawyer for. So I'm not going to get into all the intricacies of that. But what I do want to tell you is that for an event, a graduation or a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah, or any kind of a holiday or celebration where a child is going to be probably receiving money from friends and family members, if you have a special needs trust set up, it's really important that that money be designated for the child. with the stipulation that it's going into this trust, because that money will not be taxed and it can be set aside for the future for that child. And that's what we did. So the controversial piece of this was that we let people know ahead of time. It was a little presumptuous to say, if you give a gift. But the truth of the matter is, the reality is that people pretty much always give money as a gift for this. So we weren't saying give us money, but we were saying if you are choosing to give money as a gift, no pressure, no responsibility, but if you are choosing to give Lincoln money as a gift, please make it out to his special needs trust, because we knew that money was going to go for him, for his future. So one might feel a little uncomfortable doing that. I know other people did not want to do that and put that out there. One, about the disability, but two, about, feeling like it was a weird, awkward ask. But we just owned it. And we knew that, our friends would understand. They know he has a disability. So we did do that. So I'm going to start off with that as a gift idea.
Yeah, that's a terrific starting point. And I think what you did not mention that is extremely important is that many times when you do have a large family, or there is a chance of getting a large sum of money, that kids with disabilities might lose all of their benefits in the United States if a gift is beyond a certain sum. And please forgive me not remembering what the sum is, but it's enough that there's one relative that decides to gift a large sum of money, and your child is losing all their benefits because the money is on their name now. So yes, this is another thing that makes people it needs to be remembered by family members, because even when it comes to writing wills, if people are thinking about a child with a disability, they always need to check with the parents, because it might be, instead of a gift, a curse, because those benefits are extremely hard to get, and if they're lost, it's a catastrophe beyond words.
Yes.
So that's about money giving. But in general, I think that, yes, I think it's always good to ask people what would help them or what would they want as a gift. It's not very popular to actually say what you need, but if you are close to the family, it's always a good idea to ask or to share with others what you do know about the child's needs and the family's needs. Now, talking about, I guess, the community, we had an opportunity to live in an Israeli community once in Northern California. And what was really nice about that, it was that they would group up as a kind of a bunch of parents together to buy a gift, not just for a child with a disability, but for every child. So instead of cluttering the house with many little toys that would be used for 20 minutes and forgotten, they would always kind of gather the money together, and each family would give, I guess, I don't know, $20. I don't remember what it was about. And then, but if you can imagine, 20 becoming 200, then you can buy a tricycle, you can buy a little toy kitchen, etc. And those gifts were terrific, because the families could ask for a gift that was beyond their regular budget, and as a group we could make it happen for their kid. So yes, that's one idea. And if you don't live in a kind of a small community, but you need the community, you can always assign one of your friends or family members and express your child's wish and have them kind of help gather up the resources, instead of many small, maybe meaningless items, to buy something that would be really needed and used. And in our situation, many times what the ask was is another piece of durable medical equipment.
Yeah. I mean, it can be, again, it's what's important to the family. It shouldn't be what the gift giver wants to give. It's really, if you're giving a gift to someone, you want to give them something that they want or need. That's, we're talking about giving money and contributing money to gifts. Let's say your friends or family don't have any money to give as a gift. A wonderful gift that I have started giving my son's friends who have kids with disabilities, and this goes for any child. Again, it doesn't have to be a child with a disability, but we are at this stage of the game, so many of us have so much clutter and we have all these things that we really don't need. And as you mentioned, there are sometimes are gifts that, are good for, a week or 20 minutes and then, which isn't so terrible. We can then pass those gifts on and donate them to organizations. However, one of the gifts that I started doing a number of years ago for his little group of friends is experiences, gifts of experiences. So will give a really a card, and we'll give options to the child. And this is happening. People are doing this with Lincoln as well, for a night out or a night in where they get to choose the dinner, the kind of food they want. So it could either be ordered in or it could be made by the parent. And so giving options. So giving the kid the option of Chinese food, Indian food, or hamburgers, and the recipient gets to check off which one they want. Then they have a list of games that they're going to play or activities. So it could be doing karaoke, it could be arts and crafts, or it could be, a baking session. And this is all stuff that really doesn't cost money. It's stuff that they would have been doing anyway, but it's a fun way to give the kid the option of what they want to do, and it doesn't have to cost any money. You could make it cost money by ordering in and going out to see a movie. But it can also be cost free by watching something at home and having the parent cook. And those create memories. And then you can take pictures of the kids and then send it to the child and even put it in like a little photo album, like their memories of this fun outing. So that's another gift giving option.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. And also, this is a good opportunity to mention that we live in a very materialistic society here in the United States. Many other cultures, birthdays don't even include gift giving, but there are other opportunities in life that, yes, gifts do come in handy. And what I want to say that experiences are a great way to, I guess, handle a situation where you don't particularly know the child and know the family, because this is an opportunity to give something that makes everybody else's life easier. Even if it's just an entry ticket to the local pool, it can be great. And I think that in general, in an attempt to live a more minimalistic life, it's always nicer to get an experience rather than another consumerism item that we might not necessarily want or need in the house. So one more thing about gifts that don't include any kind of monetary value, but have a great value for a family with a child with special needs, and that is your time. If you have the ability to kind of on the child's birthday or any other day, just come and spend some time with the child with a disability, that is a gift beyond anything else, because many times our kids are really deprived of one-on-one attention from other adults that are not the parents. And the fact that someone else would come and pay attention to them doesn't only make the child very happy and feel special, but it also alleviates some of the, I guess, burden from the parents. And the mom can, let's say, go to the kitchen and drink a cup of coffee for half an hour, knowing that the child is having fun with someone else.
Yes. So, and can I just piggyback on that?
Yeah.
The added benefit to an experience for that child is that the parents get to then, we always coordinate it so that if we take advantage of the experience with the gift giver on a night where we have to go out, or we want to go out, so we'll say, oh, we have tickets to a Broadway show or a movie, or we want to have dinner at a friend's house, we coordinate the experience to be on that night. So we're getting a night out, they're doing the experience, and they are supervising our child if that's necessary, if they need that.
Yes, that's amazing.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful win-win.
Yes, and I think that one of those situations that you want to mention or celebrate a child's birthday, but sometimes the disability is very complex and severe, and the child really doesn't have the way to acknowledge or appreciate the gift giving. In those situations, if your kind of family or the person that you want to gift is in that Rome, I always recommend make a gift to the parents. Buy them a Starbucks card, or get them an opportunity to get a massage or something of that sort, because the caregiving role is so daunting, and the fact that there is a celebration, I don't know how to say it, if they don't have a party, it's still like it's a monumental moment when the child is now a year older. You want to somehow acknowledge that and do something to acknowledge the parents and their role in this child's life, because sometimes even keeping our kids alive is a very, very difficult task, and people tend to maybe ignore it. I don't know that there is any better way to deal with the day. You have to acknowledge the birthday, and ignoring it is almost like worse than an insult, I would say.
Yeah. You're also making me think about, some other non-monetary gifts where people don't have to, pay anything. Making a big poster for a child about all the things you love about them, and maybe putting pictures of them, of you with the child or the child with other people, on this poster, and they can put it on their wall, and this can be something that they look at, that they remember, that they're important, that they're special. And I wish to God that this would happen at schools instead of giving a crappy cupcake from a supermarket, or even if it's homemade. I don't want my kids eating extra, especially my son who has a food disability, to be, exposed to 30 cupcakes a year for different kids' birthdays. Having a poster with kids who are writing down all the things they like about your child, that's huge. I mean, that's much more meaningful, that they can always hold on to. And we've had a couple of those from different school years that have done that in the classes, and we still have them, and we still look at them, and they're very, very, very meaningful. So I hope people will, that is a form of activism, by the way, because there are lots of kids who cannot eat all these cupcakes. Like, there are ingredients in them that are problematic for them. So we should be getting away from giving junk food to kids for their birthdays. Let kids do that at home, or have one party for the entire year to celebrate everyone's birthday. But to give, that's on my little soapbox now about the, I'm all about food being for love and to nurture, but I would like to be the one to choose what those food items are, because we have issues at home having to do with food. That's my little.
Yeah, I totally hear you. It's just the sugar consumption is a total disaster in our society. It's sad. But I want to say something about gift giving. When you do go the kind of traditional route and you want to buy a toy or an actual physical gift that you wrap and give to the child, I want to encourage people to think of the individual that you're going to gift, and what are their strengths and weaknesses. If a child cannot physically manipulate objects, do not buy them an arts and crafts kit. Buy them something that work maybe on the senses, something that they can enjoy with the abilities that they do have. Think about items that the child would naturally use anyway. For example, again, I know that many kids cannot do this, but a lot of kids with disabilities not only enjoy being in the water, it's really beneficial to them. So if you know that the child has pool time in their therapy, or they just enjoy going to the pool, even gifting them a very cool pool towel would be, or beach towel would be a great gift. Someone once gifted Karen like a pool bag with a bathing suit and sunglasses and a towel. And that was terrific. And we still have the bag, even though she's no longer 5, she's still using it. So it's something that was thoughtful. So think about the functions that are there anyway. For example, in my family, we buy the clothes used, but on birthdays, it's nice for my kids to get something brand new from a store, and it's a clothing item that they can choose also, and that's really nice. So think about the things that work. Think about the strength of the child, and if they can use their hands, then you can use toys that they can manipulate. If they cannot use their hands, use things that are more sensory. Think about their room, their environment, what you can buy that can contribute to that. And all of those things, as you think about it, you can also make them. You can make, as you said, the poster to hang in the room. You can make a piece of jewelry. And now I want to give kudos to your daughter that before she went to college, she came to say goodbye to Karen, and she brought a box of beads and sat with Karen. Karen was choosing the beads that she wanted, and Isla and Becca, if you remember, helped her make a bracelet. And that was their friendship bracelet that was left with Karen. And obviously it's something that she can enjoy because she can wear it. Right. And she still keeps it till today. And she, every time she wants to like talk about sister, i.e. Isla, her daughter, she would wear that bracelet. And on days that she really misses her. And it's just something very thoughtful. There was time spent with the child. There was a gift that obviously could stay for many years, and it had a special meaning. So I'm just throwing it out there for something for other people to think about. And thank you, Isla, again, for being such a good friend to Karen.
I'll tell her. You're reminding me that something else that parents can do of the child is have a running Amazon list, or a toy store that you like, or a website that has this kind of toys that the child might be able to use and be interested in. You can have a running list. And is that, that's my phone. I'm turning that off. I'm sorry. I didn't realize the ringer's off. Having a running list of different items that people can, there's no secret most of the time. Sometimes there's a hidden disability, but there's no secret most of the time that our children have disabilities, at least to our inner circle and to our family. So to say, the birthday's coming up, if you want to give a gift, this is the Amazon list. This is the toys, these are the items from this particular website that he would really like. So make it as easy as possible for the other people. They're probably going to give a gift anyway, so let's just, put it all on the table. Like, this is what they want. This is like a wedding registry. We do it for a frickin' wedding registry. Why not for a kid's birthday party, where it's even more important because the kid really is going to want those gifts. One other thing that this made me think of is that a lot of kids, disability or not, are charitable and like donating to charities. For a number of years, I would get kids, if kids were into animals, I would get them, I would sponsor like a few goats in a community that they owned those goats, quote unquote, and they were there because Heifer International. I would get them. They would own chickens, they would own goats, and those animals would help the community where they were sponsoring them. And kids loved that. We would put a picture of the goat on the card and say, we donated this amount so that you could have, these are your goats now in wherever it was. And my son, for example, is he is very interested in helping children with cancer. So having people donate to St. Jude's, he loves St. Jude's, and having people make a donation and make a little card that, I donated this amount of money to St. Jude's in your name. he's older now. When he was little, maybe he wouldn't want that. He would want like a tangible gift, but he's at an age where that's meaningful to him and he feels like he helped someone with cancer. So that's another great way. You're being charitable to someone else. You're fostering that in your child that, this is important to give to others, and it's a gift. It's a gift.
Yeah, and that reminds me something else. You know that I'm usually in the spirit of minimalism, and I don't like clutter and collecting things. But today,
and I'm the opposite.
And yes, this is why this podcast is interesting. There's always two sides for each coin: the Alma side and the Iris side, and we kind of negotiate.
We make it work.
Yes. So I think that collections are a very good way to kind of encourage gift giving to your child. So if your child has a special interest, whether it's like, I don't know, owls or toy cars, encourage them with it, and then let people around them know about it, because it's very easy for, I don't know, family members traveling abroad, if they see like a toy animal or a toy owl in a souvenir store and they know that your child collects owls, they'll buy something, a souvenir, and that the collection can grow. And it's a simple way to also remind your child about the people in their lives that got them this owl or that owl,
yes,
and where the owl came from, etc., etc. I don't know why I chose an owl as a symbol, but you get my idea.
They're wise.
It solves, yeah. It's so easy to kind of allow people to show that they care in that way, if it's easy and kind of intuitive for them what to get for your child. So that's one thing. And then another completely opposite, I guess, example is that I do want to encourage, if you are a family member or a friend to a child with a disability, do a bit of research. Go on those durable medical equipment catalogs, go on to special needs children's sites, and read the recommendations for toys and I guess other equipment that might really benefit the child's life. Because sometimes really going down the aisles of Target or Walmart would not suffice. It's just the cases are a little bit more complicated than that, and you need to do some homework. And there are some even typical toys that were adapted with a little switch. So even a child in our situation can play with them. If they can kind of move their elbow, they can, touch the switch and make them go or stop, etc. It's just a matter of doing that extra research, and you might learn something new about disability life in general, not just about buying that specific gift. I think that knowledge is power regardless. So just
knowledge is power.
More research. Yes.
And I think before we close out, I feel like I do need to say that even with abundant research, we still might miss the mark. And I think I need to end this episode with the Lin-Manuel Miranda poster story.
Oh my gosh.
So I learned that Karen, Iris's daughter, has a massive crush on Lin-Manuel Miranda. And she was using up her parents' ink from their printer, printing out colored pictures of Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I've been through that with my daughters, printing out people from the internet and putting them on a wall and going through our printer. So I thought to myself, let me get her a poster of Lin-Manuel Miranda, because she loves Lin-Manuel Miranda, and she can put this, it's a real poster, she can put it on a wall. So I go online, and apparently not that many people have massive crushes on Lin-Manuel Miranda. So there were only a couple of posters. So I got the one where I thought he looked very cute, and he was biting his lip. And I ordered the poster. I have it sent to her daughter. But she didn't like that he wasn't smiling in the picture. It was more of like a sexy picture where he's biting his lip. And she didn't like that he wasn't smiling. So it was a fail. It was a poster fail. But I tried. And maybe as she gets older, she'll appreciate the uncharacteristic, facial expression of Lin-Manuel Miranda. But I thought that was pretty funny. She didn't like that he wasn't smiling.
I also thought that it was really funny, and it's so funny to me that you're mentioning it now on this podcast, because this morning I was talking to my father on the phone from Israel, and I tried to explain to him why is it so challenging that our daughter is now almost 14, and she just like everything that comes from someone else and it's not her own idea or her own initiation is automatically like ruled out. And I gave him the example of the poster story because it was like such a perfect gift, really so age appropriate and perfect, and someone that knew exactly what she wanted, and yet she's like, no, I won't hang it in the room. Why? Because he's not smiling. And I'm like, okay. So she's like, keep it in my closet. So she still likes it. She wants him in her
That's
room,
hilarious.
but rolled up.
All right. So in summary, just do the best that you can. It may not work 100%, but the family will know that you cared.
Yes, Alma, thank you again for joining me today. And
thank you for joining me. You're
yes,
the best. You're the best.
No, you're the best. And I think that the topic of gifts is something that we always learn something new from other people. So please do share your experiences, your favorite gifts, toys, experiences, etc. So we can
and the worst gifts that you've received.
Oh my gosh,
because those are the best to read.
Yeah, and then we can all benefit as a community. So thank you again, and see you next time.
Thank you. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
For more information, please go to www.twomomsknowfluff.com. Thank you.
If you like this podcast, please subscribe and give it a 5-star rating so more people can hear it. Thank you.